And finishing that run that day, the reward is always commensurate to the struggle and sacrifice. And when I ran into a water stop at the end of a day, how I arrived mattered. If I arrived and I had my head down and was like a beaten dog, then the crew's head would drop down as well. But this day when I ran in and I held my head up and I was pumping my fist, regardless of how I felt, then the crew, their head was up. Because as leaders, we bring the weather. How you turn up within your team, within your office, within your family, how you turn up matters. Leaders bring the weather. And it was so important on this run. One of the things that I certainly don't do well is celebrate achievements, celebrate milestones. And I knew it would be important for this run, not just for me, but the team, to celebrate the milestones. And this was one of the last things that we put together before we went away. And each day at the end of running, we would invite one of the team up who would cross this off. And it became this hugely symbolic conclusion to the day's running. And on the run, we faced incredible highs and also faced desperate lows. But doing hard things is good for you. Within the community, within families, we try to remove risk. We try to remove hard things, but that's where growth comes from. That's where we build resilience. How do we learn to meet difficult situations if we don't face them? And one of the other things I certainly learnt was that whatever the day was like, it didn't mean tomorrow would be the same. I finished each night at about 10 o'clock at night, would go to bed, and the last thing that CT would do for me is she would lift the sheet off my feet and she'd stick needles into the blisters to drain the fluid. Then the first thing she did at 4:30 in the morning was lift the sheet off my feet and stick needles back into the blisters to drain the fluid that had built up overnight. I couldn't change the physical condition of my body, but I certainly had the ability to change how I saw each day. And we can't let yesterday define our tomorrow. No matter what yesterday looks like, and we'll all face difficult and shitty times, it doesn't mean tomorrow will be the same. The end of the run was something I'd thought about for 2 years. There wasn't a night that I went to sleep without thinking about the run. And you know what? There's not a night since the run that I haven't gone to sleep thinking about it. And I hadn't thought about what the end would look like or how it would pan out, but I'd thought about it for 2 years. And up until the day, even hours before the run, we had no plan what the end would look like. But what I knew was that this was such a team achievement that it was never going to be about me crossing the finish line in celebration. It was only ever going to be a celebration of all of us. So within about 50 metres before the finish line, with probably 200 or 300 people on the road running behind me, we got all of the crew in yellow who were there from the 1st of December, and we crossed the finish line together. And it was a celebration of what you can do together.